Hey there, coming to you from South Carolina. I am out at the park currently, just kind of chasing around my little one. Decided to take her out. Very breezy day here in South Carolina. This is a part of the year when everything is about to be covered up with some pollen out there. I wanted to make this very quick video though as something to pass along some information. First of all, if you are in government, if you are in law enforcement, and if you are a supervisor, you're a frontline supervisor, you're a commander, you're a captain, whatever level you happen to be at, I need you to pay very, very close attention to this video. Because like a plague that we had once thought that we had eradicated, there is an ancient enemy that is going to be making a comeback. There is going to be a blight on the humanity of law enforcement and really anybody who is doing investigative interviewing and interrogations out there. And that, my friends, is the written statement. That's right. The written statements are going to be making a comeback. Now, I didn't do that. I didn't make these written statements come back. It's not something that anybody is intentionally wanting to bring back into law enforcement, but with the advent of AI, artificial intelligence, what's going to happen is this. Pretty soon, your recorded interviews, audio and visual, they will be challenged in court one day. Now, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a judge, I'm not a legal expert, but I'm just already kind of seeing some cases that are making their way up in the circuit courts. Already, Axon body cam, they are being challenged by the ACLU right now. The ACLU has written a brief because a lot of Axon body cams are auto-writing portions or all of patrol officers' reports at the end of the shift. The ACLU, they are aware of this and they're on this. As an investigator, as a detective, as a law enforcement officer, or even as a government employee, you may have to go under oath and swear that everything in your investigative report is truthful to the best of your knowledge. How are you going to do that if AI is writing a majority of your report? How's it going to happen? Those are questions that are being thrown around out there. But here's what I think is really going to happen as far as detectives go, as far as law enforcement goes, and confessions go. In order for the courts to be able to attest to, or you to attest to, the veracity of a recorded confession by a subject, the courts now are going to have to bring in an AI agent to assess your video for tampering by any AI agent. In other words, AI right now is so advanced, you can make a video of me, Frank, going out and committing a felony. And these videos can be so well done that it would take another AI agent of a higher level than the one that you used to produce the video with. Well, what's going to happen is that's going to create a domino effect in chain of custody and assessment of evidence as it's being entered into the court. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm someone who was former law enforcement, but I can get a sense of where these winds are blowing. And what that means is that there's not going to be an AI agent that's going to be so powerful enough it can tell 100% whether or not a recorded confession is 100% the original or not. And even if it's just 99% sure, 95% sure, that could be a doubt that's going to be in the mind of a lot of people. And it's really up in the air right now how the courts are going to address it. AI is really changing the field of what's going to be acceptable evidence collection and admission into the courtroom. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm just kind of letting you know how I think these winds are going. What could happen to your recorded interview and interrogations because of the advance of AI, because of the possibility that every single recorded confession could be manufactured by an AI agent? I can actually foresee recorded digital confessions going the way of the polygraph. It could be inadmissible in certain circumstances in court. Now, what we are doing here at John Reid and Associates is we are revamping how we are looking at our phase 1 factual analysis. But also, if you are familiar with our technique, we have 9 steps of interrogation. The very last step, step 9, is converting the subject's oral confession into a written confession. Now, I totally get it. There are some subjects out there, they really suck at basic grammar. They can't write, they can barely read. We have a procedure for actually writing out a confession for a subject like that that should be able to stand up in court. But here's the thing. Most of us at John Reid and Associates, we haven't been giving step 9 full consideration. Now, that doesn't mean that we're skipping it. We're not. We just haven't been spending all freaking day on step 9, the written confession, because of the very reasons that I just outlined. Most of us are recording all of our confessions, but what you're going to be seeing more of out of me, if you take my class and any of the other instructors, all of us are going to gradually start to spend more time on step 9. The pitfalls to avoid in a written confession, how to obtain a written confession, because written confessions are going to come back. We're going to need a witness to the written confession, hopefully more than just one witness. And what now? Is this going to be a panacea for confessions, written confessions, or digital confessions? No, it's not. But what these written confessions can do in the meantime is they can be kind of a stopgap until these courts are going to figure out this whole AI business out there. I am Frank. I'm a full-time instructor for John Reid and Associates, the Reid technique of interviewing and interrogations.